The moment she laughed and said, "My sister's prettier," something inside him didn't just pause, it shifted, like a truth finally finding its voice after being buried for far too long. And when he looked up, eyes steady, tired but certain, and said, "I was never looking at her," the room didn't just go quiet, it changed. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the kind of love that sees beyond appearances, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Stories. You never know whose life a story like this might change. Maya had always been the other sister. Not the one people noticed first, not the one who turned heads when she walked into a room, not the one relatives praised during gatherings. That was always Alina, her younger sister, with flawless skin, confident laughter, and a presence that filled every space like sunlight. Maya, on the other hand, had learned to exist quietly, comfortably blending into the background, convincing herself that invisibility was a kind of peace. Growing up, it hadn't hurt as much. Back then, she had her books, her sketches, her little corner by the window where she would sit for hours, dreaming of a life where being seen didn't mean being compared. But as the years passed, comparisons became sharper, more frequent, more careless. Family friends would smile and say things like, "Maya is so sweet, but Alina, she's just stunning." And while they meant no harm, the words lingered, slowly shaping how Maya saw herself. By the time she reached her late 20s, Maya had built a life that felt safe but small. She worked at a modest community library, surrounded by stories that felt more alive than her own. She wore simple clothes, tied her hair in a loose bun, and kept her head down. It was easier that way. Easier than trying and feeling invisible anyway. Everything changed the day Daniel walked into the library. He didn't look like someone who belonged in quiet places. There was a heaviness about him, not in appearance, but in the way he carried himself, like someone who had learned to survive rather than live. His eyes, though tired, held a gentleness that didn't go unnoticed by Maya. And beside him was a little girl, no older than 6, clutching his hand tightly as if the world might fall apart if she let go. Her name was Lily. Maya noticed them immediately. Not because they were loud or demanding, but because of the quiet bond between them. Daniel spoke softly to Lily, kneeling to her level when she asked questions, brushing her hair back with a tenderness that felt rare. It wasn't the kind of attention that sought admiration. It was the kind that came from love built through loss. Over time, they became regular visitors. Lily loved the children's section, and Maya found herself setting aside books she thought the little girl might enjoy. Daniel would always thank her, his voice sincere, his smile brief but meaningful. They never spoke much at first, but something unspoken began to grow, a quiet understanding, a comfort in shared silence. Maya learned, piece by piece, that Daniel was a single father. His wife had passed away 3 years earlier, leaving him to navigate a world he hadn't expected to face alone. He worked long hours, struggled with the balance of being both provider and parent, and yet, despite everything, he showed up for Lily in ways that spoke louder than words. For the first time in a long time, Maya felt seen, not in a dramatic, overwhelming way, but in small, steady moments. The way Daniel remembered her name. The way he asked how her day had been. The way he listened, truly listened, when she spoke. It was unfamiliar. And it was terrifying. Because somewhere deep inside, the voice she had carried her entire life whispered the same old doubt, why would someone like him choose someone like you? That voice grew louder the day she invited Daniel and Lily.